Topic: transportation of material in plants. See, when we talk about higher plants, we see transport of water as well as dissolved mineral salts, sugar. This all takes place, but there are two methods of transportation. One is transpiration and another one is translocation. Transpiration and translocation. Transpiration is mainly involved for the distribution of water as well as minerals. It means water and minerals in solution form are absorbed from the soil. Clear? How? With the help of roots. And transported where? To all the parts of the plant like stem, leaves, flowers. So this upward movement of water with the dissolved minerals from the root towards the top of the plant is known as ascent of sap. What is sap? Sap is the fluid which is absorbed by the root hairs. How does it move? It moves from the root hair, then to the cortex of the section of that area, then endodermis, then pericycle. What is all this? And then finally the trachary elements. Trachary elements क्या होते हैं? The xylem and phloem. Trachary elements, that means the vessels and the tracheids. Where are all these located? If I do the section cutting of a root, ये वाला area, and I'll show you like this, then from the outer side towards the inner side. ठीक है? यहाँ से यहाँ तक. The outer one would be the root hair, then the cortex, then endodermis, then pericycle, and finally the vessels which are located somewhere here in the middle. That will help in the transportation, absorption of this sap from the lowermost region, that is the root, to the upper parts of the plant, that is the top of the plant. How? I'll draw a diagram and I'll explain alongside. सी क्या होता है? हम बोलते हैं दिस इज द सेक्शन ऑफ द रूट हेयर. ऑलराइट, देन द फर्स्ट लेयर, देन फ्यू मोर लेयर्स ऑफ सेल्स. बेसिकली वी आर सपोज टू डिज़ाइन इट लाइक दिस. ऐसे होता है. फाइनली रीचिंग टू द पिथ रीजन एंड मूविंग टू द xylem and phloem cavities. Then conduction up in the plant section, then moving to the area of the leaf where the midrib of the leaf will expose it finally to the stomata, the opening, the cavity through which the water is released out. First of all, how does the water go? Water moves from the root hair, then to the epidermis, then to the cortex, then to the endodermis region, and finally reaching the xylem of the root. Then here comes the soil surface, right? Then this creates a water column, water column. It is moving up through tracheids and vessels. Finally, where is it reaching? The midrib region of the leaf, and is moving out through stomata. This is how the water goes up. Now we say both tracheids and vessels. What do they do? Tracheids and vessels. Both are non-living, highly thick, and tracheids are basically long, thin, spindle-shaped. And the walls of tracheids, they have various types of thickenings in between. उनको हम क्या बोलते हैं? उनको हम बोलते हैं pits. Pits are uniformly thickened areas, and these will help in transpiration. Vessels, these are also long tubular channels formed by the large number of cells which are attached end to end. Tracheids and vessels are joined together. They often completely show that they are together, and these thickenings, these vary according to the section of the stem that we are under. Like in case of angiosperms, I'm writing the exceptions here. See, angiosperms, flowering plants, they have both xylem, that means tracheids, and vessels, a complete structure, right? When we talk about gymnosperms, pteridophytes, and other small plants, gymno and pterido, these gymnos and pteridos, they mainly have only tracheids. They do not have vessels because the vascular system is not developed then. So gymnos and pteridos, they have only tracheids, and angiosperms are supposed to have well developed xylem vessels. That means tracheids and vessels together are present there. Minerals are taken up in the inorganic form like nitrates, phosphates, and transport of water and minerals, it is taken up by the transpiration process. Clear? So minerals which are taken up, that is in the inorganic form. इनऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म होती है नाइट्रेट, phosphate as an example. And if we talk about water and minerals, that together taken up by the process known as transpiration. Now discussing transpiration here, since we are quite familiar with the diagram, we say transpiration is a loss of water vapor from the leaf into the atmosphere. Plants absorb very large quantity of water from the soil. Mainly 1 to 2% of the water absorbed by the plants is used up in photosynthesis, not much. If you remember, we talk about light and dark reaction, and we say in that light and dark reaction, the water splits to release hydrogen ions. So little amount of that is used in photosynthesis and other metabolic activities. What happens to the rest? It is transported out through the stomata. Under most favorable conditions, a leaf can transpire its own weight of water in an hour. That means equivalent to 100 times its weight in its lifetime. That is the transpiration rate of a plant. That means on an average a tree can transpire 100 times water equivalent to its weight during its lifetime. Clear? Leaves, they keep on losing water through the stomata by the process known as transpiration. Water from the xylem in the leaf moves to the mesophyll cells. What is mainly present here? Which cells are mainly responsible? These are mesophyll cells. So these are the cells which can replenish the loss of water also. But this continuous transpiration process, it creates a suction which pulls the water through the xylem vessels. देखो क्या हो रहा है, कंटिन्यूसली अगर यहाँ से वाटर ट्रांसपायर होता रहेगा, ट्रांसपिरेशन प्रोसेस होती रहेगी, देन वी नीड वाटर इन द नियर बाय सेल्स. Clear? And this water is completely being pulled. This is known as a suction, which is keep on pulling the water upward through the xylem vessels. And due to transpiration, a tension is developed in the xylem vessels. Why? Why a tension? Because it has to keep on pulling the water from the root system. It will keep on pulling the water, and in this way the water is being pulled in the form of a water column through the xylem elements. And जब ये होता है इसको बोलते हैं transpiration pull. Clear? What is transpiration pull? Transpiration pull is basically a process which makes a water column where the water is being pulled up in the form of a column through the xylem elements, and it starts from the root area, which shows the demand, moves from root, epidermis to endodermis to cortex, then xylem, then the water column moves through the entire xylem vessels of the stem region, and then finally to the leaves, from where water moves out through the stomata. And this water column does not break due to the force of cohesion between the water molecules and force of adhesion between the molecules of water and walls of vessels and tracheids. What is this cohesion and adhesion? See, you two friends, you always sit together, right? If you two friends are always sitting together, that means you are sitting in a line, or you are making a queue and you are moving in one sequence. ये होता है cohesion, which means when two molecules, they remain sticking to each other. Adhesion, when the molecules they remain attached to the walls of vessels and tracheids and they are pulled up in this condition. This does not allow the water column to break. Clear? These forces are cohesion. Cohesion means co-friends. And adhesion. Adhesion means adhere to the wall of any xylem or tracheid vessel. Clear? This do not allow any kind of breakage in the water column. Moving to the second type of transportation, that is the transportation of food and other substances. When we talk about food and other substances, we say it is translocation, process of transport of food and other substances. See, translocation, a very wonderful phenomena for plants, because this takes place through the phloem vessels, which translocates sugar, where sugar is formed or synthesized by the process of photosynthesis. Remember, carbohydrates and other metabolites. These are synthesized where? In the leaf area. अब हमें कहाँ जाना है? लीफ से नीचे की तरफ और sideways आना है. Clear? Here we say these are synthesized in the leaf, along with hormones are also synthesized at the shoot and the root tip and the other parts of the plant. So metabolites भी होते हैं, hormones भी होते हैं, proteins भी होते हैं. All these are synthesized. Where? In the leaf section. Clear? अब इसको क्या करना है? This has to move via phloem, depending upon the action of living cells called the sieve tubes, to the various regions of the plant. Food synthesized by the mesophyll cell enter the sieve tubes. These interconnected sieve tubes are present in all the parts of the plant. So once the food material or some other substance enters into it, I'm showing you a little section array of how do the transportation take up here. That means the process of translocation. These are the sieve tube channels. And in between I'm drawing sieve plates. These discoid are the sieve plates. If you can see, there are perforations that are being drawn. मतलब कुछ एरिया खाली है, कुछ एरिया dense है. It is not allowing the overflow of the material immediately from one cell to another cell. And these long columns in between are the companion cells. We can very well understand the structure, the functioning from this kind of layout diagram. This is where the sucrose or the metabolites, sugar metabolites are stored. I'm calling it sucrose. Why? Because the mobile form of sugar that is to be transported to various regions of the plant body is known as sucrose. It is synthesized by the mesophyll cells of a leaf, and it has to enter the sieve tube cells of the phloem. These are the sieve plates, these are sieve tubes, long columns, and these are the companion cells in between. Now, companion cells. In this layout structure, the interconnected sieve tubes are present in all the parts of the plant. So once a food material or some other substance enters the sieve tube, it is transported upward, downward, or any other part of the plant, including the roots also. The food is transported in a dilute aqueous solution. And whenever the food has to move from one region to another region, it is not easy for it to move uniformly as it is without any energy gradient. No. First of all, what happens? The entire amount of water which is there in the nearby cell, it has to be pushed to the adjoining cell. Why so? So that space can be created for the movement of any other metabolite. So water moves out and creates a pressure deficit area here, meaning a low pressure area is created. When a low pressure area will be created, automatically what will happen? Movement of substances will take place from a region of higher concentration to a region of low concentration, and this movement of molecules from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration requires energy in the form of ATP, because this movement requires energy in the form of ATP. Here, the transportation when taking place from here to here, it will not be easy. It will not go in one flow. Rather, it will consume energy. It will create or maintain as an osmotic pressure, the pressure difference. Why? Because initially it had water, then water moves out. This becomes an area of low pressure now. In this low pressure area, water cannot easily move in, or food cannot easily move in, right? It will generate little energy. That energy is in the form of ATP. This is known as active transport, and this active transport will allow or facilitate the movement of molecule which is there in the nearby cell in abundance to the following cell through these sieve plates, that too by utilizing energy, and it's a very slow process. It's not as fast as the ascent of sap is, where a column is maintained and the transpiration process is taking place. All right, this is energy driving process. It's a bit slow process. It is a bilateral. Why? Because it moves in all the directions. Food can move sideways also. Food can move upwards also. Food can move downwards also. So it can move in all the directions. So we call it bidirectional flow. Utilizes energy in the form of ATP, maintains the osmotic gradient, and the flow of food and metabolites, it takes place when it is synthesized in the mesophyll cells, that is from the leaves to the falling parts of the plant. So translocation is essential. Why? Because every part of the plant requires food for energy and for building the metabolites, and for carrying out all the metabolic processes of the body. To maintain one's life, we need food, and plants also show the same requirement. Clear? Thank you.